Hello.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Not too bad. This weekend I had a big family function,
Ooh, okay.
and Punch Kid was ready to debut to a number
Oh, fuck
of the
yeah.
fam,
That's
and
awesome.
and Punch Kid, whatever. She's solid at like handling the giant. This is the biggest room full of the most people she's ever been in,
Mm,
and she was pretty just faces and smiles and all good for the most part. Um, but I truly can say that yes, babies run on a Nago Ryuki like blood install system. And every time you have a big high, a big smile, a big enjoyment, and like you're being held by strangers and you're not popping off, it's all delayed. It's all going to come later, right? And when it comes later, it comes back in orders of magnitude. So you can push that nap for a couple hours, and the intensity of the nap that you're getting on the backside of that is uh, not to be trifled with.
mm.
I'm sure you've experienced the uh, uh, force multipliers of like delaying the nap, but we recently got hers down to like three a day from
Okay.
a much higher number. And
Okay.
I can say that like I feel like you're just you're managing it's systems. There's bars and meters that are invisible that you're managing at these events. And I can say that like we're getting pretty all right at it. Now, I don't know, but I can only imagine that the screaming kid running through an airport, smashing into walls and bouncing off of everything and everyone, has significantly more meters that get introduced. Uh, However, the UI is revealing itself to me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You're mentally ill.
Okay,
you, you,
sure. All right.
you, you have an illness in your mind.
Okay.
That being said, your core point is dead on.
All right. Well, forgive me
Um,
for trying to bring a fucking video game bit to a video game podcast. Fucking go then.
um, your core point is correct. There's a couple wrenches in there. So it's in your parlance, it's all the same meters. They're all the same. Um, just certain ones get longer or shorter depending, right? And they will change up on you. So you're starting to feel like you're like, okay, we got this. We got like kind of a loose schedule
I
down.
I'm able to anticipate, and like I can go like this is about 15 minutes away from disaster.
Right, right,
And I'm able to
exactly.
peg it.
All right, and she's what, September? So what?
Well, just a
Nine,
yeah,
8 months.
she's between her 6 and 12, so
Okay,
she's getting there.
so you're getting it, and you're gonna have a couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months of like, yeah, all right. Then you're gonna have to start the whole fucking process over as soon as the next sleep regression hits, and every single fucking part of her schedule completely resets to some new bullshit that you have to just re-intuit.
So the regressions didn't really hit like I was expecting, in the sense that like the times where there's definitely nights where she'd just be like, "Hey, yo, I'm up. I don't give a fuck," right?
I
I
think the funniest part
But
about that is like, is the baby asleep? And you like look at the monitor and it's just like like the widest eyes and the
mhm,
biggest goo goo gagas.
mhm, mhm. Um, yeah, it's weird because like it would never like it feels like it wouldn't regress for like stretches of time. It would instead just be like sporadic, like this night was just off. And what has been more telling, at least with her, has been like teething. and teething
Yeah.
pain is a way larger determining factor of like how the overall mood is going to go.
It felt like my guy was teething every day for like 20
Right,
months.
right. Yeah.
Like it really, like every single time he couldn't sleep or whatever,
But
must be
But
teething.
that's what I'm saying though, is that like, okay, so I know what the tiredness system is, and I'm familiar with where that's at based on how she's behaving and how how it looks when she's getting low. And then you go through the solving all the other problems, and then that doesn't solve the irritability. So then you're like, it's got to be teething,
Yeah.
and like it makes sense because teething frustration is a
Yeah, it
different,
sucks. It hurts. Ow.
but it's a different kind of frustration because she can be in the middle of being happy and then teething pain will happen and she won't stop being happy, but
It was
she'll
like,
but she'll still be like, yeah, and then she can go right back to smiling or doing
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
you know. And so you see that and you go, ah, okay, let's give the cold chew toy or the other little things or
yeah.
whatever. But sometimes you're getting those like those in the middle of the night, and it's like that's not a sleep regression, that's a teething overlapped with
Mhm.
sleep is now turning a sleep turning a nap into a teething interruption, you know.
Yeah.
So again, you're just new subsystem introduced. Okay, we have a new bar to keep track of here, and you test it to see if it's teething pain, or is she gonna take the cold toy and throw it away and be like, no, it's not that, you know.
Yeah, right now I'm in the period that has been going on for 6 months or more, and I have no idea how long it's going to go. Which is, this kid could really use a nap.
Mm-hmm.
They disagree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So either they're going to take one nap, and it's going to be at the worst time that a human could take a nap. It's going to go from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Fuck. Or they're gonna just like speed up and speed up and speed up and speed up and go faster and faster and faster until 8:45, at which point they're just gonna, if they sit down for even a second, they're just gonna tilt right the fuck over and pass out.
You can't do the long nap as the last one of the day. You can't do it. It's a fucking trap. It's a trap, bro.
Yeah, you know what else is a trap? You know what else is a trap? You know what the most dangerous thing of all is? Okay, usual bedtime 9:30, 10. It's 7:45,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm looking at him just tilt and droop, and I'm like, I,
Yeah,
fuck.
Fight
Dude,
through
hey,
it.
wake up,
Fight through it.
wake
Fight
up.
through it.
Hey, stay awake. Hey, woo, let's dance. No, he's
Yeah.
gone. He's
Mm-hmm.
out.
Mm-hmm.
He is now back up after his 3-hour nap at 10:30.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Yeah. So I mean, again, we had a fucking nappy little like potato. So she was like passing out in like 90-minute intervals at one point, practically.
Yeah,
So
that's the, oh man, that part of the infant cycle is like, you can set your watch to them.
it's crazy.
You know when to start doing dishes and laundry because you just fucking got it.
And you've got your exact like timer of like and there it is, you know. But yeah, no, that's otherwise like, you know, getting a little bit more predictable by being less predictable. The other thing is, and it's like, okay, so we're hitting the different solid foods, we're trying out, we're getting messy, trying out all different kinds of stuff. And I have to say, I'm like, oh boy, I'm like, just wait till you taste like fruits. That shit's gonna be crazy. Like
It's great.
like sweet and things like that. And like, oh man, a mango, your brain is not even ready for how good that is. Does not care about fruits.
Yeah.
Tried a little bit of an apple thing. Nah. Tried some pear stuff. Nah. The mango, a little tart. Nah. Going in for tahini, going in for like potatoes just fine, cereals just fine, but the
Ain't
good
no
shit
kid on this earth don't like a cup of Cheerios, man.
but like but the good shit though, And it's just
Wooly.
I think it's like your mouth is just not ready for how much is going on there. It might
Well,
be
the
too
other thing
complex.
is that a huge proportion of those tastes are genetic. Do you and Punch Bomb have different tastes in food?
To some degree, yeah, to some degree.
Okay, so like, for example, hey man, you want to eat some chicken? No. Do you want to have a piece of steak that we cut out so you could suck on the steak? Delicious steak. No. Is he stealing a pickle off of your fucking plate? Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like a vinegar drenched pickle, sour and briny. Yeah, in it goes. All right, well, fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, my like whatever means we get there. My whole thing is like I want to avoid the pickiness if at all possible, you know. And I can see it starting to develop.
There's only
And
so much you can fucking do.
I'm gonna fight it with all of my being. I'm gonna fight it with every fiber of my being. It's super important to me. I just
You know what I got right now, bro? It's like he's a little picky, but nothing at the end of the world. What I get is just like the shittiest customer I've ever served. Where, hey man, here's all your food. I got your yogurt. I got your fruits and veggies. I got your chicken, all this. And like he sits there and he's like looking at it and he's like, where's my dip? Like, oh, my mistake, your majesty.
yeah.
And then I get the ketchup and I squeeze out some ketchup out and he's like, thank you, Dada. Dip is very good. Chicken is only good with dip. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And listen, there's these are the moments because I'm like, right now I'm pre-planning and I'm anticipating, and I know it's mandatory, but for as much as possible, I'm like the kids menu is the enemy is how I'm approaching this. And this is one of those bits where I think simply being in like North America in general, there's a vibe to this that is like omnipresent almost. But when it comes to like how to approach the taste and some of the weirder flavors and all these different things, I'm gonna have to revert to some Caribbean style approaches of like, you got to taste some wild shit, a big like if this is what the range is, usually I got to open it up massive and have you taste a whole lot of crazy things, and then just know that that's out there, and then you can still pick and choose, and your preferences will develop, but they'll develop from a much larger base than the usual of what you get up here.
I'm reminded of what our pediatrician told us, because we were like, we're worried he's made me. Is he getting enough iron? And, you know, we were going through like the list of like macronutrients. And he was like, okay, how old are they? I'm like, 18 months. He's like, okay, cool. Are they eating? Like, yeah, he's eating food. It's like, good, great.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
And we're like, but is it? Nope.
Yeah.
Well, hey, that's it.
I know. Yeah, there's so many moments of just like, hey, I'm concerned about this detail, and then like pediatricians like, I'm not. Get the fuck out of my office. You know, you're like, fine. No, fine, sure, right? And I'm sure that like when you're going down a massive list and a bunch of different kids are there, and you're like, these ones actually need my attention.
Yeah, there's like,
me alone.
you bring your kid in, they look healthy, they're well fed, and then in the back of his head, he's like, listen, I got motherfucking toddlers coming in with fucking scurvy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
just jaundice to shit. Like you gotta just, and I'm like, okay, fine. I know, and I definitely, I don't know. I feel, I mean, you know us, you know our demeanor and such. So I feel like there's a lot of cases where, talking to a couple different levels of professional, that they have a system in their brain that's running for just like, okay, we don't want to panic parents at any point, right? No matter what, even no matter what we're looking at, we got to just go through the next level of like, it's chill, and and like we're conversely also trying to run a system of like, hey, we don't want to look insane. We're not insane. We're just
You
it's
don't want to be insane.
you don't want to look like the crazy, while you're up in the office going right. But I'm just like, but we ask questions because we like actually want to know how this stuff works, and I feel like for a lot of things we're pretty data driven people, So we'd be like, oh yeah, like what's going on with that, and so like the conversation is like, sometimes you're talking about like, oh well, what would happen if this were to occur? I mean, it seems like it's not, which is pretty cool, but
Yeah.
how does this usually go with kids and stuff, And you kind of have that thing, and you kind of poke at it in from around the edges a little bit, just to be aware. But there is definitely a like wall you'll hit of sometimes where it'll be like, well, and if we don't see any good results there, then I guess we'd have to just start talking to some other people, I suppose. And they just kind of you don't want to just like, no, don't worry, you don't need to know what goes beyond this step or what's going on over here. And
the last thing you need is like, well,
Yeah.
what if my kid never eats an orange? Then we're gonna have to hit him with a feeding tube in 2
Yeah,
years.
or
Like, there's no
whatever.
fucking purpose for
Yeah.
that. That's such a minuscule amount of cases.
But it is a system that I've encountered in place where there's definitely a level of like my anti-parent worrying system is now running, and it's like you're gonna get a stop on the amount of information after this point, So it is interesting, but yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, they're fine.
Yeah, that's it.